Did you know mortgage rates are on the rise? And if you are looking to secure the lowest rate possible, then I got a couple of tips for you right here in the next Red Hot Real Estate Minute. If you're thinking of buying a home, then you've probably been following the mortgage trends that are happening right now across Canada. And if you've been following those, then you probably know that the 5-year fixed rate is on the rise. And if you really want to capitalize on these historically low interest rates that we're seeing, well, you're going to have to get your ducks in a row. And lucky for you, I've got a couple of tips that are definitely going to be able to help. Tip number 1, you want to look your best as a borrower. What does that mean and what does that look like? Simple. You should have good credit. You should have minimal debt. You should have your down payment ready to go. And you should have steady work. That always helps. Number 2, you want to hook up with an awesome mortgage broker because they're going to have access to all sorts of different mortgage products, and then they're going to assess which one is the best for you and the best rate. Of course, not all mortgage products are created equal, so you may have the opportunity to pay one off faster than another, and it might fit your life situation better to do that. But the mortgage broker will help you assess all of the different mortgage products out there and pick the right one that's perfect for you. Number 3, when you get to meet that mortgage broker, make sure they get you a full pre-approval. Now what that looks like is you've got to bring a bunch of documentation and hand it into the mortgage broker so that they can tell you exactly how much you can borrow and at what rate that's going to be. What kind of paperwork does that include? Your T4s, your bank statements. It's definitely pay stubs. It's assets and debts. They want to know it all so they can truly give you an accurate representation of what you can afford. Once you've got that pre-approval in place, and especially if you ink a deal, the next thing that you should do 100% is not make any major life changes. Don't go out and buy a new car. Don't go out and quit your job. These things are all going to affect your credit, and that's the last thing you want to do before closing on a property. Finally, number 5. If you want to take advantage of these historically low interest rates, then you gotta have your closing costs ready to go. But Rhiannon, what are closing costs anyways? Great question. They can range, but in general, if you're buying a property, you're gonna want a home inspection. That's a closing cost. You're going to need to be able to pay for the lawyer or notary that helps you through the transaction. That's a closing cost. Of course, there's going to be home insurance, possibly prepaid utilities, property taxes, and of course, your deposit, which is super important. So those are your top 5 tips on how to take advantage of these historically low interest rates right now. And if you have any other questions about these tips, or of course about the real estate market, feel free to reach out. I'm Rhiannon Foster, Red Door Homes Group, and this has been your Red Hot Real Estate Minute.